Hi everyone, it's Jay from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to our channel. Today I'm sharing a card for the Gentleman Crafters Design Team Inspiration Hub, and it's a fun double planter pop-up card. So I've done a card like this before using the crates die. So for today's card, I'll be updating it without the die. Okay, so you'll need the Pampered Pets stamp set and the coordinating pets dies currently at a 10% off when you buy it as a bundle. The sprig punch and the small bloom punch. For the card base, you will need Sahara sand measuring at 28 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters folded in half at 14 centimeters, or that's 11 centimeters by 4 1/4 folded in half at 5 1/2 inches. I've also used the In Good Taste Designer Series paper for the wood design, and you'll need 3 of those measuring at 13.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters, or 5/16 of an inch by 4 1/16 of an inch. So that will cover the front and the insides. For the two planters, you will need 22 centimeters by 8 centimeters, or 8/5/8 of an inch by 3/1/8 of an inch. I'll go through the scoring in a second. For the bars inside the planters, you'll need 5.5 centimeters by 4 centimeters normally, because you'll be cutting that down, but it's better to have it longer. So this one is 8 centimeters, so then you'll have space to cut it off later. So I'll show you that, or that is 2/1/8 of an inch by 1 1/2 inch. So for the decoration at the front, you will need Very Vanilla 7.2 centimeters by 3.7 centimeters, or 2/13/16 of an inch by 1/7/16 of an inch. And then the layer for that is Basic Gray 7 by 3.5 centimeters, or 2/3/4 of an inch by 1 3/8 of an inch. So that will mat and layer for the front. And then just a piece of Sahara sand, a strip of it, 10 by 2 centimeters, or 4 inch by 3/4 of an inch. So that will just decorate the front. You'll also need some old olive and shimmer card depending on how you would decorate your planters. For the inks, I've used Memento, Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, and Cinnamon Cider. Okay, so let's get cracking. So bringing the basic gray piece back, this one you will score at 3.5, 10.5, 14 centimeters, and 21 centimeters. Or that is 1/3/8 of an inch, 4 1/8, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. And then we will cut the short edge at 3.5. But before that, we will slit at 4.5, top and bottom. So you can either slit it or mark it. So that's 4.5, 8 centimeters, 16.5. I'm just cutting about a centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. And then lastly, 20 centimeters. So I'll go through that in imperial in a second. Ooh, that's a bit much. So that looks okay. So in imperial, that is 1 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 3 1/8 of an inch, 6 1/2, and 7 7/8 of an inch. Okay, and then on the turning it that way, we're gonna cut at 3.5. So I can use the right edge. 3.5 there and 4.5 there. So just cut it all the way down. And then you'll have two pieces. Okay. For the bars, so the 5.5 by 4 centimeters, you're gonna score that at 1 centimeter and 4.5. So make sure that the 5.5 is on the top, and we're gonna score that at 1 centimeters or 3/8 of an inch. And then you can turn it over and then do 4.5. So it's basically just on either side, it's 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. And because I made it longer, it's easier to cut it down. So I'm cutting down bars in 1 centimeter height or 3/8 of an inch. So it's quite small bars. You can make it bigger if you want to. But because I made it longer, I have something to hold my pieces. So I'll do 3, and then I'll do a 4th one. And that one's just an offcut. And I think that is all the cutting. So we'll make up our boxes. So just burnish, fold the score lines and burnish it. And then do the same for this one. I will cut the tabs off. Just taper it off or wedge it. And then wedge it for this one as well. So this one will be the top piece. We'll go there. I'll just erase that in a second. And then this one will be on the bottom. Okay. So with the two pieces, the slit is on top for the base. And the thinner one, the slit will be at the bottom. So then that will go through. I've erased the mark, and but you can still see it. So I'm gonna do it the other way. But before we stick that down, we're gonna mark the top where we're gonna put the bars in. So you can either eyeball it or measure it out. So 3.5 and then 1.75 or 5.25, and then in metric. So that's 1 3/8 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch, and 2 inches. And then we're gonna add the bars on the top. So if we add it from there, so we'll add glue, to one tab, and then align that fold to where your mark is. So aligning that fold, and then making sure the bar doesn't go over the edge. So you've aligned that fold to the mark, and then close it down. And then do the same for the other two. So add glue. Line it up. And then the last one. Okay, and then when you fold that back, like so, just to reinforce those folds. You can even use your bone folder, and then you can then add glue to the other side of the tab, the bars. Okay, so I'm just gonna add glue on all three. Fold it down, and then fold this edge, and then just fold it down like that, and then it'll pick it up, and then wait for it to dry, or you can fold it other way, and then you'll have your first planter, and then you can close it by adding glue there. And then folding that side. So that's the top planter. And then the bottom one, you can do the same. So you can have the fourth tab this way. And then I'm just gonna eyeball that. So just make sure that you make a set fold, and then that can then be added onto the other side. So fold it down, and then it picks it up from there. Okay, and then finish off with this side. There we go. So that is done, and then we can add that onto our card. So all of the slits should then match, and then it will fit in together. You might need to just wiggle it a little bit. But it should all fit down. then when you fold it, so when it folds onto the card, it'll fold that way. And it automatically opens and closes. Okay, so that is that. I'm gonna decorate the card. So for this one, I'll go that way. If you are enjoying yourself, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on future videos and uploads and live streams. Also, all of the products that I'm using today, you can purchase from our online shop, as we are independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators based in the UK. All the links will be down below, so check that out as well. So I'm just gonna go and do that one. And it should have a nice border around. I added a bit more glue in the middle because you don't want just the edge, because this will be stuck onto the DSP. So once that's down, get your ruler or your trimmer, and because whatever the size of that, you'll need to mark it off from the spine. So this should be 1 centimeters, or is that 3/8 of an inch? But yeah, just double check because I'm doing the metric. It should be 3/8 of an inch, but whatever it is, that size, you'll want to mark it on here. So I want 1 centimeter from the spine, just to mark it. And that's where we're gonna stick our, so fold it that way, so you have the bar there, and then that's gonna get stuck there, aligned on that mark, and then obviously line it up on the base. But for this side, you're only adding glue to this bit here. Okay, so if you can see, the bars are there. Fold it down. The glue is there. I'm lining it up on the base and then on the mark that we've just made. If there's no shadows. There we go. Give it time to hold, and then you can add glue onto this rectangular side, and then that can then be folded down. And then just fold that down for the front. Wait for it to dry. And then when you open it up, you have your double planter pop-up card already, and then we're just gonna decorate this card. So for decoration, as I said earlier, I've used Pampered pets. I have gone ahead and colored a few of them. So this one was stamped in Memento and colored with the water painters in Cinnamon Cider. This one was stamped in Memento and colored with water painters with Memento. And the same one, stamped in memento and colored in bumblebee. And I've added a hint of memento for the shadows on there. I've gone ahead as well and punched out a load of sprigs from the old olive cardstock. Or if you want to keep the in color theme, you can, I guess, seeing as we've used 3 colors already from the in color, or 2, you can use the Just Jade for those if you want. So I've done about 2, 4, 6, 7 of those. And then for the Magenta Madness color, I've actually gone ahead and punched the small bloom punch for the shimmery card, and then colored that with water painters. If you'd like to learn more tips on how to color punch images, you can check out one of our video using water painters, how to use water painters 5 ways, and I've colored the medium daisy punch with magenta madness as well on shimmer cardstock. So those are done, and we're just gonna make up our card. I'm just gonna zoom out. So for the inside, you can use the sprigs for your flowers. So you can either, it's great because you can just stick it down and then that will be where the flower will go, like so. You could also cut off, because you want different heights, you can cut off the base and then align that on different heights. So you can add one here, and then have that different angles as well. And yes, so we're just gonna decorate this. Oh, and one of them actually I'm gonna use for the cat. So I'm gonna have him stand up on the sprig. So or if you want all of the sprigs, you can use window sheets. So I thought I might as well just use what I have on here. There we go. So that's gonna be how I'm gonna attach the cat on the planter. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna leave 2 out for the front, and then I'm gonna fast forward the video and you can just watch me decorate the planter. Okay. Right, there we go. So just make sure that when you're lining up the flowers, it doesn't go over on top, and always try and see if it go over the right hand side. I've added that one, so I'm gonna add him there. Yeah, looks good. So from the set, you have different sentiments. Enjoy. I hope your day is a real treat. Always in your heart. So sorry for your loss. So I would probably say, I hope your day is a real treat, or just enjoy. Or use different sentiments from a different set. Six centimeters by 2 3/8 of an inch. And then you do have some lovely butterflies or hearts. So we can do the butterflies on this one. Magenta Madness. And then that can be added onto there. You can, I'm gonna cut that off slightly lower actually. There we go. Okay, 1.5 inches or 3.8. And we'll add a bit more on there. So Magenta Madness. Stamp off. And then stamp on. Do another one. Last one. There you go. And that will just get added on top there. That looks good. And then you can decorate more flowers there. Gold glitter enamel dots for the middle. So take your pick tool. You can use pearls, but I thought the pearls will be too bulky for the inside of the card. And this one is less bulky. There we go. So that is done. So for the front, we do have this piece and then the other piece as well that I haven't used. We can do that. And braided linen trim to close it all up. So we had the Sahara sand, the basic gray. So that one, I'm I'm gonna use the Pets dies as well. So the Pets dies comes with 5 designs, and it matches the dogs in the Pampered Pets and the cats, as well as the paws design. So as I said earlier, it is currently as a bundle and it's 10% off. If you do order from our online shop, just make sure you use our current host code for an extra thank you from us next month. And if you spend more than £45, you'll get a free tutorial bundle designed by the Stamping Glam Squad. So I've gone ahead and I've just die cut that through the basic gray, and then that will be on there. So for the matte, you can actually see the Bare Vanilla underneath. So that just gets put underneath. You can either have a nice border around, or have it more on the top, but I'll go with the border. That's fine. And she's gonna go across there. That's gonna go underneath. Cool. So I'm gonna add this on. I was gonna add the linen trim underneath, but I think it might just buckle the paper slightly. So I'm gonna add this on. I did have these elements to hide the trim as well. Right, that is done. Have that there. Have that there. So I'm gonna add the cat now on top, so I know how far to add the Sahara sand. So I only added glue on the left hand side. So I can insert this one of the sprig in a second. I'm gonna have that down there. Here we go. And then decide where you want it, and then add your sprigs. So one there, one there. Like so. That's gonna get hidden up. So I'm gonna add that underneath the cat. And then you can stick down the rest. So to add, I'm gonna, wherever I have the bar, I'm gonna add my linen, braided linen thread. So that looks good. So you could always just mark it again and try to hide it. Not like right in the front, like just what I've done. So you can either have a long piece, so you know that's not going anywhere, and then take that off with your big tool. So have it long enough, so maybe if you do your card, the length of your card base, would that be enough? It's better to have longer. So I would say length of the card base probably and a half, and then align that there. So you have a long piece to tie a ribbon. And then just to double check before you add all of the toppers, you can make your bow. Yeah, that is way more than enough. Way more than enough. That makes sense. Okay, so you could always just cut it down once you've made your bow, so you know that's it. You can comfortably do one. Okay, so that is done, and I'm just gonna add that on top. So I'm gonna raise that with foam band dimensionals. So mini dimensional, just make sure you put it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the top and the bottom, so I know that it won't affect the braided linen thread trim. If you want to not be soggy, you can do the middle as well. Here we go. Is it straight? Cut that off. And then finish it off with some more gold glitter enamel dots. Or you can use the chalk marker as well, because it's a nice dark background. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial on how to create a double planter pop-up card with the Pampered Pets in good taste designer series paper. And when you open it up, you are greeted with two planters full of small blooms and the two cats from the Pampered Pets as well. Check out the links below for the products that I've used and which you can purchase from our online shop. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time, bye!